But I actually know what it's like to listen to the Roula and Ryan show as a Roula and Ryan show listener now, where people tell us, I couldn't get out of the car until I heard the end of this.
Oh,
you know how many times people told us
what were you
right?
listening to?
Probably something that I edited really quickly.
No, it was, we always do like the Believe It or Not Paranormals.
Yeah.
And you played this guy, Tim. I forgot, I don't know when he called, but that was so riveting. I forgot about his phone call, A. B, I was creeped out in my car by myself. And C, we had to play that again. I don't know when, I don't know. I know you probably played it on Friday because we were out.
I did,
but
yeah.
it was so creepy and his voice was like so perfect for it.
Yeah.
It was about moving into this house for just 2.5 months with his 2-year-old and his wife, and they're like, we're getting the hell out of here.
Oh, wow.
And of all the paranormal happenings in this creepy cold house, I was like, oh my God, now I know what it's like to be listening to the Roula and Ryan show and you don't want to get out of your car. Because usually we're on the Roula and Ryan show. Right. But I was actually listening to us playing back.
Did it come back to you when you heard it? You're like, oh, I remember talking.
I don't remember Tim's story. I mean, I kind of did a little bit, but not really. He was talking about these figurines that were in this little curio cabinet, and there were like 15 of them, and his wife had moved them to the top shelf so the 2-year-old doesn't get to them. And the next morning, they're all back at the bottom shelf. That's where getting the hell out of here. Because it wasn't just 2. It was like 15
really
little figurines.
Okay.
So it was real trippy, and his name was Tim. It was a real deep voice, and he was this is out in the country.
It happened last October. That's what I was editing.
Oh, okay. So that's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you guys were off, so I was just trying to do, normally on Fridays during
oldie but a
October, we
goodie.
do spooky,
Oh, yeah, the paranormal, believe it or not. And I think that's great. And I usually know I have the crazy brain of memory on this show. I remember
I'm surprised
most
you don't remember
everything.
him.
I vaguely do, but that was just so good that I didn't remember all the details.
I mean,
I was
throughout
like,
the years,
wow, I get to hear him again.
We've literally done thousands of shows, if you think about it. I mean,
way
for the
more
last
than
20 plus years, we have a good amount of paranormal, spooky stories on the listener line that I've been going through. So we'll get to those this week for sure.
So today we're kicking off Post Malone or Post Baloney.
Maloney or baloney?
We have 5 chances today for you to get tickets to the shows this week. He's doing back-to-back shows at the Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion. So y'all hang out for that because 8 o'clock. Hold on. Do I have my times right? It's Monday. Wait, where's my times? 8 o'clock.
Got it?
10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 5 o'clock. Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I wanted to make sure I wasn't messing up 10 and 11.
So you have 5 different tries today because he's here tomorrow and Wednesday.
I know.
Okay.
Tuesday concerts in the Woodlands are hard.
I know. I'm so sad.
During the weekdays now, you guys are finally getting. I remember when I stopped going to weekday concerts because it's not easy when your alarms go. And I'm not complaining. I love this job. I thank God I have it. But when your alarm goes off at 3 a.m., you're not really wanting to go to a concert that's going to let out at 11 o'clock, traffic, and then you get home. It's after midnight. You're looking at maybe 2.5, 3 hours of sleep if you do that.
Yeah, I did that 2 weeks ago. It's always rough. And then you can't always completely enjoy yourself at the concert as in turn up.
I know. Or you have this thing like hanging over you.
Like, yeah, that's exactly what Kevin's saying.
I gotta go.
It's
Actually,
impeding
great
your
point.
ability to have fun.
Great point to this, Kev, because, I know you love your, nights at the theater every now and again.
Mm-hmm.
How many times have you left during intermission because it was a weeknight show and you're like, I can't lock in for this. There's a Wicked commercial right now for Target.
I wouldn't do that.
That has been going on and on. And they've got green cards and everyone's singing the songs, whatever. And my husband goes, I've never seen this. What is this about? I go, well, you know what? I would tell you what it's about, but it's one of those shows where I saw it on a Tuesday at the Hobby Center, and I was like, I'm out. I can't wait through halftime, through intermission to get out of here.
If I'm not a huge fan of them, I just kind of like them, like Doja Cat. I went to Doja Cat, but Ahmad wanted to stay for longer, so I was like, okay, we can.
Well, you're doing that out of friendship.
Yeah, okay, we can stay for one more.
Right. But you're not into it. You're tortured. You want to have a drink. You can't have a drink. You want to just relax and enjoy the event. You can't do that. It's just really crazy.
I've got a question. You brought up that Wicked, okay? So Wicked, it's a sequel to Wizard of Oz.
Or is it a prequel? It's a prequel.
Yeah, I guess it's a
Elphaba
prequel.
is the Wicked Witch of the West, and then Glinda
But there's
is the
wraparound.
Good Witch.
Remember
But this
at
when
the-
they're hot, like teenagers.
At the very end, they do a wraparound. You kind
I
of.
wouldn't know. Remember, Ryan? I walked out.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
I don't remember. I don't remember how it goes.
Taking my
I saw
daughter
it.
to Wicked the play, and the play's about 90 minutes. If you think about it, the original Wizard of Oz is 80 plus years ago. So that was an hour and a half movie. Wicked, the play, the theatrical version, I think it was about 90 minutes on stage. But this Wicked movie that's coming out, it's only part 1. And from what I understand, it's like nearly 3 hours long. And then part 2 is nearly 3 hours long. So
Lord.
How do you do like a 6-hour movie on something that's only like 90 minutes?
If you're a big fan, you're very excited. They're giving everything lots of attention, I'm sure.
Oh, gosh.
Because-
like the origin story of each one, the Tin Man, the,
Well, they're not all
the dog. This one, Toto was born.
Toto
Do you remember
was
when
born.
Mrs. Gulch got her bike? We're going to show you where she bought that bike.
Yes, well, it'll be Mrs. Gulch going into the Walmart to get her bike.
That's right.
What was that movie you think we both like?
Like?
Yes, that was the The Heartbreak Kid. It was on. I saw it streaming the other day, and it was that scene. Who's the guy, the bald guy? Rob Corddry, who's got the little like patch of hair. He's bald, but when his wife calls on his phone, her ringtone is the evil Mrs. Gulch music.
On a serious note, I thought of this last night, Sam, because I know you live somewhere in East Downtown. I'm not sure where, but I thought
She don't live in East Downtown.
You don't?
No.
Oh, there's a big story.
There's
that
the
happened
story
last
of
night.
Best
helicopter
friend
crash?
lives in Edo.
Okay, so then your best friend. Okay, I don't know. I thought
So-
you were on that side, but there was a helicopter crash last night. Right before I went to sleep, I saw that people were commenting, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Oh no,
thing
this
hit
is
something.
really
What happened yesterday?
It's really horrible. So around 7:45 last night, a helicopter crashed into a radio tower in East Houston, unfortunately killing 4 people, one of them a child. It had apparently exploded, caught fire, and plunged to the ground. Now,
so it exploded before it crashed.
that I'm not sure of. There were witnesses saying that they saw a fireball in the sky, and this is off navigation. So some witnesses said that they saw the helicopter burst into a fireball as it was crashing into the tower. Police and fire officials have made a grim request. This is really sad, y'all. They're telling all the people in the neighborhood to look out for fallen helicopter parts and more than likely human remains in their yards. Ooh. If you find this, they want you to call 911. So that is what they consider an emergency. They want you to call 911.
Did they say what kind of helicopter it was?
It was a private helicopter. It had been
was
chartered.
a private. Okay, because I was wondering. I was hoping.
It
I mean,
had
that's
left-
worse. But like, I was hoping it wasn't an accident that they were like life lighting.
No.
Oh, that's
No,
what I
no,
thought,
no.
Sam. I was
That's
like,
what
oh
I
my
was
god,
like-
is that a lifelike
No.
helicopter that
Right.
already had somebody in trouble
Right.
on
They had
it?
left Ellington. So
Okay.
it was
Got
a
it.
private
Okay, so it was
chartered
a private.
helicopter.
Wow, that's terrifying.
I know, that was really scary.
Yeah, that popped up on my. I went to bed so early last night. My Steelers had the night game.
I saw they were like smoking it, right?
Oh my gosh!
They
I went to
smoked
bed when
jets.
it was actually like really close, and I woke up around 11, and I looked and I was like, "Is this a dream? Am I
Oh.
dreaming right now?" Because it ended up being 37-15, which is
really good.
yeah.
Unlike the
'Cause it
poor
was really
Texans,
close.
which in the
They were
last couple
losing.
of seconds, I was so.
I know, and the
God, I was
Texans-
hoping the Texans would hold
Too much
the Green
time
Bay
left on the
Packers.
clock.
Man, I was hoping they'd hold them.
Yeah,
And then
that
I
was,
thought, okay, a minute 45, that's a long time. And Green Bay's not going to do them any favors by not drowning out the clock or whatever. So we lost in the last, 3 seconds?
It
'Cause
was-
no
yeah.
chance to come back from that field goal. So we lost. But
I know.
actually,
That's
coming up
the
next in the
kingdom.
scoop, there's a story about Tom Brady and his Fox analyzing. As you know, he already is so rich from all the football money and all his endorsements. And now he's super uber rich from the Fox deal he made for over $300 million to analyze football every Sunday. But now there's something that's going to keep him from doing his job, although he still gets paid. I'll discuss what that is coming up next in Scoop. Here's your official weather for today.
It's really going to be a beautiful day. A lot of sun, a few clouds rolling in early afternoon, but then sunny towards the evening. It should be a high of only about 85. Right now, 63 degrees and 6:08 on the Roula and Ryan Show.
This is Roula and Ryan's Celebrity Scoop.
On KRVE.
It is brought to you by Taqueria Randas, and yesterday was Sunday football, right? Yes, because in Houston, it used to be all about baseball, and ever since the Astros were out, we don't watch baseball anymore. But in case you're curious, 2 of our Astros were close to trying to get to the World Series again, but nope. They were on the New York Mets, Ryan Stanek and Phil Maton. He screwed the pooch last night for the Mets. So the Dodgers won, and it's going to be a Dodgers-Yankees World Series. Nobody cares. Okay. But everybody cares about football. The Texans unfortunately lost to the Green Bay Packers in Green Bay, and it was like that at the end. You're like, oh, damn it.
We'd had a
It's time to
4-game
come
winning
back.
streak, which was nice.
We were winning. And then we just weren't winning by enough. Anyway, so Tom Brady this season is making his debut as an analyst for Fox Sports. And he had signed a $375 million deal to do this job. He already has so much money. His net worth so far, I think, well, at the end of 2023, it was $530 million. Now it's even more because of this new deal. And here's the little sticky part. When you are an analyst for a sport in general, you have to be unbiased in all facets of what you're saying, right? You can have your opinions, and sometimes you can be like, oh, that's my team I used to play for. Or I remember Alex Rodriguez used to say that about sports playoffs when we would play the Yankees, because we knew he was a Yankee, and of course he wants the Astros to beat the Yankees, but we were always their daddy. So you can't really sit there and be like, yeah, go Texans or go this.
Right. You have to stay very neutral. Mm-hmm.
Very neutral. Tom Brady cannot do that anymore because he is now a minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh.
So there are a lot of rules that come with that. And I don't think Fox saw this coming. Because when Fox signed him, I'm sure in his contract, in all the fine print, there is nothing that says you cannot be part or partner in any of the NFL teams that we're about to talk about. Because then you're going to be unbiased.
Like, you've got all that money, you can invest in so many different things. Why would you invest in a team if you knew you had this? I
It's
know,
going to
but
make
you
him a
know
lot of
you've
money
got this
because the
broadcasting.
Raiders have so much. What's the word? There's so much possibility with the Raiders because sports is doing so well in Vegas. Like with hockey and all that, the money is just pouring in with these sports teams. So it makes his Fox job almost impossible to do. With his new ownership role, Tom Brady cannot, per league rules, do the following things behind the mic. He cannot access other teams' facilities or practices. So as an analyst, he cannot go there. He cannot attend broadcast production meetings or criticize officials or other teams. How many times have we seen in sports? And I think the big one was, I think it was like the Packers and the Seahawks years ago when they had the stand-in refs that made the wrong call and it screwed over the Packers for the playoffs because there was some wrong call that later down the line, like, yeah, we screwed up on that.
Oh, geez.
You can't take it back. Once they make that call in the field,
Right.
it's over. You're out. You're eliminated. You're not going to the Super Bowl, or you're not going to the next round of the. And you would, of course, criticize. Like there were analysts that were criticizing that. Well, Tom Brady cannot because he is a minority owner in a team, and so he's supposed to objectively call football games, but he cannot give his opinion on the football games he's
Oh my
calling.
God! Like if I was Fox,
Oh my gosh, but that's why he's there.
I would want.
This
I'd
doesn't
want to
make any
end this
sense.
contract.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
Yeah,
okay,
bye.
this was done under false pretenses. We thought we were going to be able to get you to do all these following things, and now you can't live up to it.
Well, I don't think they're going to be firing him anytime soon, guys. It's Tom Brady. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
But he kind of does look like a bot of himself.
You don't think he looks like himself right now?
I don't know. Yesterday I saw a little bit of it. I
Think he's
wasn't
got
watching
work
like
done?
with full attention. No, I just feel like, Tom Brady's always been like, I don't know how you describe his facial features when he talks. You almost wonder because he's like one of these guys that's so laser focused when he was a quarterback. He didn't have like that jovial personality. Even when he wanted to kind of have a jovial personality, he's kind of like stiff. So I was like, you could almost turn him into AI, and I'm not sure
Right?
people would
He's no
notice.
Charles Barkley or Shaq. Those guys are so fun.
Right.
Because those guys all have incredible charisma. They are fun.
They got the Riz.
they
yeah,
got the
sharp
Riz.
personality.
They got the Riz.
Tom Brady's kind of nah.
I mean, maybe
Bland.
he's going to come into it on his own, but overall, in all the times that you ever saw him as a professional football player in interviews, it was always just real, like, just riding the calm seas. He was never, like, over the top.
Like,
And
don't
Kevin-
you remember his roast on Netflix? Even that, like,
It was robotic.
He's getting savagely torn apart, and he's just kind of robotic is the perfect word.
But you want his color commentary because of his experience on the field and his personal knowledge of these particular things out there that he is personally experienced.
Well, he's the greatest quarterback
Yes.
in the history of the sport. You
Yes.
would want his opinion on stuff, but now I
Right.
guess he can't. Kevin, what did you read about the NFL that you were telling me? And I was asking you to find the source.
that the NFL, unlike MLB and NBA, the NFL is listed as a entertainment company, meaning they can
Not a sports entity.
meaning they can fix games in order to provide better entertainment throughout the season.
And
so
where
like,
did you see that?
like professional wrestling, where the
That's what it
outcomes
sounds
already
like, like a
determined.
soap opera.
You can find a ton of websites that have it. And there's even a Supreme Court. I found it on even the Broncos' own website on their blog.
But just because they have the ability to do so, you know.
Oh, yeah,
doesn't
they would
mean-
never do that. The
doesn't
NFL
mean
would
they're
never do
doing it.
anything.
Yeah. Well, don't we always
unsavory.
think things are rigged anyway? I mean, look when our Astros would be in the playoffs. Like, the MLB doesn't want the Astros to be in the World Series. They want a Dodgers-Yankees series, or they want a this, and that bigger cities. But always we would, you know. Yesterday, Alex Bregman reposted some stats they showed on one of the games because Carlos Correa is the top player in the MLB right now who had the most postseason home runs before the age of 26.
Wow.
He's at 11 because some other player has 10 now. And Bregman just posted the stat just to show that, yeah, his former brother, 11.
Did you see that they're expecting baby number 2?
I saw that, yeah.
The Bregmans?
Yeah,
The
Reagan,
Bregmans
his
are having baby
wife,
number 2.
posted it on their Instagram, and it was such a cute, like, just the way that she announced it.
Yeah, can't wait to meet you. So anyway, football Sunday didn't go our way, but it's fine. You still watched, and it's fine. And I need
still watch.
I need people to text me at 37530. Did you go to the high school near your house? Did you go to as a Houstonian? I'm not saying smaller towns. As a Houstonian,
Yes.
What? You do not have teenagers. You do not have kids that go to the high school near your house. Do you go to those games for fun? I was having this conversation over the weekend
That's a little
because
weird.
I have never been to a football game yet. A high school. I've not been to a high school football game. Have I ever here in Houston? No, I don't think I have. As
Even
an adult,
in high school?
No, because my school didn't have
No,
a
they
football
didn't.
team.
Yeah,
We had
she went to a
soccer.
private school.
What?
Yeah, my private
never
school, St.
experienced
Thomas, did
Friday
not have a
night
football.
football?
No, I didn't. I said this the other night. I'm such a weirdo, like
Whoa.
alien. I am a born and raised Houstonian who never had to take a Spanish class. A Spanish
De
class.
veras?
Not
Really?
one time.
How's that possible?
Not in all of my schooling, not in college, not one Spanish class. Because St. Thomas Episcopal at the time did not offer Spanish, so I never took it there. And at University of Houston, my choice for foreign language credits, the Greek consulate was providing the funds to run a Greek conversational class. So I was like, I'll just take that one. So I can
just shoe in all A's.
I took that one so I could scrub up on my, brush up on my conversational
Greek.
proper
Yeah.
Greek so that when I go to Greece, I don't sound like a total hayseed when I'm there. So that's how I never did a Spanish class. And I never went, I have no idea. Friday Night Lights, when that movie came out,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I wonder why it's called that.
Oh, my.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you. So I think, so over the weekend I was having this conversation and a friend of mine said, well, it's kind of fun. Like we take the kids to the football game and if they get really all into it and they just think it's really fun because the kids are older than them. And for them, it's like for us in the NFL, like my son wants like an autograph of like one of the kids, like one of the players. And I thought, okay, so that's why I'm questioning myself. Is this like a normal thing or
It's
this is
not.
just like what
I
a
mean-
football family maybe who loves doing that does to
I mean,
support the
if
school?
your kids want to do it, I don't think there's any harm in that. But it's like, honestly, last
of course there's no harm in
the,
it. It's
the last
fun.
Friday night game or high school game I went to was when I was in school. But I don't have, I didn't have a son. I've got a daughter who didn't go to any football games. I think it would be strange for like if I were to just say, hey, I think I'm going to go watch high school football. I'm going to go to a game in the local neighborhood.
Well, you by yourself, Ryan, would
Yeah.
definitely
Be-
raise red flags.
That would be so weird.
Why is this man here
Yeah.
alone watching these
It's
high
like
school
stranger
games?
danger creeper.
Right, but if Roula, if you had friends that their kids are playing football
Or
in
they're
high
not,
school,
or they're not playing football.
you've got friends.
Let's say
They're
right
just
now,
going
my
to play
kids, my
with
son is
friends?
9.
Yes.
So is it a thing I should be doing? Like telling my other friends, like, hey, should we take our kids to go see the Katy High School game or the, I don't know, whatever game? Let's go watch that.
I
Is
mean,
that
if
so
you're
weird?
driving out to Katy, I mean, if you lived in Katy,
If
I
I
could
lived in
understand.
Katy or whatever the neighborhood
Right,
school
it
is,
doesn't
I'm going to
matter
go to the
if you're
neighborhood
like-
school. I'm going to the neighborhood school Friday Night Lights football game. Is
no,
that
I
weird?
I don't think that'd be weird.
No.
But
But
should I be doing that? Really, is more of a question.
no, I mean, does MJ like football that much that he would want to go? If he doesn't like football like that, then I don't think you're missing out on anything.
I think maybe if it was your prospective high school,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
then
To
you
get 'em
could
into
start
it?
getting excited about
Like if
it
you're
early.
zoned for that area, but if you were to
Early in
get
life.
in the car and say, I'm going to go over like 40 miles away and watch a high school football game, that's weird.
Okay, let's not talk about. Look, yeah. So let's just focus on the neighborhood school. And even even private schools. If let's say I want to send my kids to private school in high school. Private schools have football teams, except for the one I went to.
Oh heck yes, yeah.
Yes.
I went to a Catholic high school and we had a very successful football team, and I could not wait to go to that high school. I was so excited to go to that high school. I didn't
Because
really
of
like
the
sport-
games you went to?
No.
Oh.
Because it was. I always like looked up to it. It was like it's where all the big kids went in my neighborhood and my community.
yeah, gotcha.
But of course, I didn't like like sports, I don't think I see myself maybe going to plays or going to any of their things beforehand. That would feel a little bit weird.
Okay, so people are texting at 37530. That's normal in Katy to just go on Fridays
sure
to the
it
high
is.
school game.
Yeah, I mean, because you're part of that neighborhood, that community.
Another person says, my high school football team sucks, unfortunately, and others around. Only North Shore or Katy schools that are good is where we go. People are saying you should come to a Katy high school game. High school football in Texas is no different than pro in regards to who's watching it. This person says, my dad's a retired football coach. He and his former coaching buddies go to high school games regularly
Well, that
to
makes
watch
sense.
that. That's
Yeah.
true. If you or your kids are football fans, says this texter, then no, it's not weird to attend
Right.
high school games. This texter says, I take my kids to the football games on Friday in Tomball all the time. So yeah, I just had this conversation over the weekend, like, oh, am I missing out on some kind of like fun social culture? I didn't realize like all these families are there with their kids. Like, yay, let's cheer on the high school kids. Because listen, my husband Tasso grew up in Dallas and he played for Richardson High School. He started playing football when he was in the 4th grade. And at the time, Richardson High School was like the beast mode school. And Tasso remembers they had made like playing cards of them that
That's
little
cool.
kids would want them to sign, like autograph them.
Yeah.
And think about when you
Their
were a
school
kid.
had trading cards?
Yes, of the
That's
players because
really
the
cool.
team was so good. And think about when you were a kid, like when I was like 1st or 2nd grade at St. Thomas, because this school went all the way up to senior year. Looking at the seniors was like looking at celebrities to us. And I remember when I was a senior at St. Thomas, the 1st and 2nd graders actually had the stones to come up to us. They weren't shy like I was when I was in 1st grade, and they would ask us to sign their yearbooks.
Oh.
The 1st and 2nd or 3rd graders would come to the high school hall with their open yearbooks and say, can you sign this? And they would ask the seniors to sign their yearbooks. So it's really cute because you forget the dynamic of younger kids, how they look up to 15 and 17-year-olds thinking you're like a celebrity. That's like their first eye-opening thing of us, like a celebrity. I still remember there was a girl named Tamara Rabson. I don't know where that lady is now, but when I was a 1st grader, she was a senior. And I remember her name because some girl in my class had to like pair up with her for some like little 1st grade senior thing. I don't even know what it was. And that's it. That's the first and only like adult name I knew. Well, she was a high school kid.
Right.
When I was a 1st grader.
But when you were that young.
Like, whatever happened to Tamara
wow.
Rabson?
I would probably be more interested in watching the bands and the the cheerleaders and the folks that throw around the rifles and everything like that.
The folks that throw around the rifles.
I even got to do that in high school. I can't remember what it's called.
ROTC?
No, we didn't have
No.
ROTC.
He's talking
is
about
it?
like the band. I forget what the position
Marching
It wasn't the
band?
it wasn't the color guard. It was part of the marching band, but I didn't
Yeah.
have to play an instrument. I just tossed the rifle around and
And you
spun
don't
it
remember what it
around
was
on my
called
head.
when you were in it?
I don't even remember
Oh
what
my
the
God,
hell it
people
was
text
called.
us, please, and answer
Like,
this
what do you
question.
call that?
37530. What do you
You
call
toss
when you
around
throw
the rifle.
Rifle in the school band. I didn't know that. Because
you
school
gotta-
bands had rifles.
You got to spin it around on 2 fingers. Just hold out 2 fingers. You spin the rifle around on it. We became and throw it up in the air. They were wooden rifles, of course. You know, 'cause
Right. Wow.
they,
Right.
they didn't let us have
that is the color guard. The person who spins
Yeah.
the rifle in the band is a member of the color guard. That's
Yeah.
it.
And I loved colors.
Oh my gosh.
You sure did. All right. A lot of people have a lot to say about local high school stuff. A lot of people are saying this person's on a high school dance team director who goes to every football game as a sponsor. I don't think it's where to go. There are little girls who get
you're
to
a
go
sponsor.
and play with the like do like a little dance routine with the high school like what do you call the drill team?
Yeah, drill team.
Yeah, everything's
Drill
called
team.
something's different in every school, right? But it's called the drill team, but it's a name, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
That sounds accurate. I don't know. I was a jock, so I
Yes.
didn't do
Did the
well.
drill team come dance at your soccer games?
I don't believe so. I don't
But
think
Sam,
that was
I mean,
Thanks for answering that for me.
being that
Texters,
you're a
y'all know
jock,
everything.
if, in your neighborhood, if you knew like the local high school is having a football game and you don't have, a son that's that old to play, would you just go to the game just for the heck of it?
for my high school, like if I went back to
No. I'm
Pennsylvania.
like saying you're in Houston right now.
no,
In your neighborhood,
No,
and you knew there was a
absolutely not.
football game going
no,
on. Would
I
you-
don't. No,
Okay.
no.
All right, coming up next, I have a surprise for Sam that I found over the weekend. And we need an update on what happened with Special K and Roundtop Bob.
He's alive.
People wanted to know what happened with the
K
Roundtop
is.
Bob visit with Special K because we were off on Friday. So we got to do a little weekend update. And why do I have a surprise for Sam? Like, what did Sam do that deserves this surprise?
Nothing.
You're going to find out next on the Real and Ryan Show.
It's KRBE. Turn it up. With more of the Roula and Ryan Show.
Okay, we are going to start this off with what happened to Special K with Roundtop Bob.
Oh, yeah.
Because I have a surprise for Sam, but we'll wait for the surprise until after we hear. I mean, obviously you're okay, Kevin. You're here, alive and well, and
You went
healthy
to
looking.
Roundtop to go antiquing.
Explain with everybody why there were concerns. Why did we have to update that you're alive and well after going to Roundtop alone?
Yeah, about a week and a half ago, Eric and I started getting some messages from Roundtop Bob in regards to his new spot out there called Junk Gigolo Lounge, and it's basically this brand new building with curated items in there from the antique stores around there in Roundtop. Roundtop is
So it's an antique place and a bar combined.
absolutely, and he was on the air on last maybe 2 weeks ago.
It was you,
on
me,
Thursday
and Eric.
morning.
Remember, it was the all guy show that morning, and he
It's
called
like
in.
2 Fridays
Two
ago.
Fridays ago.
He
Yeah.
called in to invite me personally. Now, this is waking up early in the morning after partying all night. And so people were like, Special K, we are scared for you. That doesn't seem right. He don't seem right.
It was a strange call.
He don't have his stuff together. We don't know if you should do this. So we gave him another chance. He called back and had his thoughts together. So I was like, all right, I'll go up to the Junk Gigolo Lounge, and I drove up to Roundtop last Thursday after the show to meet Roundtop Bob. Well, he is so kind and so fun, and everyone in that town knows him. The first thing he did, he was like, hey, let's go make our rounds so you can see what this is all about and meet some people. Well, as soon as he got anywhere, everyone was like, Bob, here's a drink, here's this, here's that. And he was introducing me to these people who are running stuff up there. At one point, he's like, let's go to the Ellis Motel. I was like, all right, you cute.
What now?
Yeah, and he was kind of cute too.
What's
he
the
went-
Ellis Motel?
Yes,
Is that the name of a bar?
ready to take me to the motel.
Well, we're just like cutting straight to the chase here.
Yes, I
Should
know.
this be on Raw Feed?
So we get to the motel, and it's a bar with some rooms downstairs. Not like rooms to sleep in, but just like drinking rooms.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, where do people sleep here? He's like, oh, no, it's not an actual motel. It's just a bar.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's cool.
He's like, it's weird you say that because
They
I
call
invited
it
some
that.
lady friends over here one time, and they pulled in the parking lot, saw the sign, and left because they thought they were going to a motel.
They might want to rethink that name.
It's been there forever.
So if you're from there, you're in the know.
You are. So after that, we went back over to his establishment, the Junk Gigolo Lounge, and he had invited over all of the people that we had met from Roundtop and their friends and fam to come kind of party after they shut things down at sundown. Well, it turned out to be quite the hootenanning. I mean, it was so fun. They were serving all these different beverages, and they had liquor sponsors, and then people were shopping and carrying on and having a good old time. It was kind of more of a community event, and then folks popped in who heard us talking about it, who knew Bob,
good.
and were like, I can't believe you came. See,
Oh,
Bob
that's
is
so
normal.
cool.
He's so cool.
Good.
And then I was like, Bob, you know everyone. And I asked him when he graduated high school, and he didn't want to tell me. And I was like, oh my God, I graduated the same year. Don't feel bad. And so like him and I already had so much in common, and he definitely ain't ugly. He's super cute. He's
just
very
wanted to throw that in
sweet.
there.
Oh, my God.
He's-
And you were alive and well and had a good time.
Yes. So if you go up to Roundtop, it's probably one of the first shops on that road out there with a 227, something like that.
Okay.
And it's on the right-hand side, Junk Gigolo Lounge. You'll see
And it's been there
signs
how
out
many
there.
years?
It's only been there for a couple years, and they
Okay.
rented out this building and put their own stuff inside of it.
Okay, got it.
And a shout out to Sam, who's actually the designer out there, and he was also super kind as well, and showed me all the curated things. So if you like antiquing, this is a cute place to stop.
Yeah,
so
Roundtop.
I'm alive and well, and Bob is a normal, fun guy.
Is
Thank
it
you for
over
the
now?
update.
No,
Roundtop?
I don't-
It keeps going?
I don't think so. It's only
I
going
kept
on for
looking
2
up the
weeks.
dates. Yeah, it was. I kept getting different information
Okay.
because they have permanent shops that
Yeah.
are open
Yes.
year round.
Yes.
But the one that Kev was talking about, we said before it was like, what, 8 miles long, and then it updated to like
12,
11
yeah.
miles or 12 miles.
Because
so
for years
that is
at
a
the
different
Nutcracker
time.
Market, Sam, the
Yeah.
big right corner of the whole thing was Paul Michael for years.
Right, I remember you telling
You
me
know,
about that.
Garlands and all that. And Paul Michael hasn't come in a couple of years because now everything he focuses on is in Roundtop.
It
And he
looks
does-
Okay.
it looks like it's over. I want
Yeah,
to say it
okay.
went
like I said, it's kind
until
of
this past weekend.
Okay,
That's
well, over the weekend I went out and about with my family. And I told you guys on Thursday that I was very excited about the American Cancer Society's Shop for Heart card. If you missed me talking about this is a window of time in October where there are hundreds of stores and restaurants that will accept this holiday shopping card and give you 20% off on whatever you're buying. And places that usually don't give you 20% off. Like how many restaurants say, here's a 20% discount card? Almost nobody.
Never.
But there are lots of restaurants, there are lots of shops. When you shop for Heart, the holiday shopping card, you get 20% off. So I went out on purpose with my Heart card on Saturday. I had the kids with me and I was like, I need to go just check out and see what's going on. It's a good jump on getting some holiday gifts. And I came up on something that I was like, wait a second. This is Sam written all over it. And I'm buying it because it's 20% off with my Heart card. If you want to get a Heart card, you just go to shoppingcard.cancer.org. It's for the American Heart Association. It's one of their biggest fundraisers of the year to support the American Cancer Society. And your contributions fund life-saving cancer research. Okay. So, I call it the Heart card, but it's actually the American Cancer Society. Sorry, I said the Heart Association, didn't I? It's the American Cancer Society. That's why.
Okay.
So I can't call it Shop for Heart. That's a different one in April. Okay. So it's until October 27 that you can shop for 20% off. So you can go to a retailer that has the red and green in the window and it says holiday shopping card. You buy the card and then 20% of everything you want. And I came across a blanket because it's cold in here sometimes.
I know I had to go grab mine.
And I know Sam has had I gave y'all blankets at Christmas, but that was for your house.
Right. That one's too nice to have
And you've
here.
got one here that you were like, I need to take this home and wash this. And had I had more time, I would have pre-washed this for you. But, Sam,
Yes?
I'm going to throw this at you.
Uh-oh.
And then you're going to show everybody what this is.
Okay.
And you're going to know why I bought it for
Well,
you.
you're
Ready?
gonna tell everybody.
You're going to show the boys in the studio. And then you're going to tell everybody what this is. Even the mom is like, no.
Is it
It's
Uggs?
an emo cow.
Oh, it's an emo cow.
With
Oh my gosh.
Emo cow blanket.
It is like me on a blanket.
Yes.
Like everything I love. The emo cow with sunflowers, and it even has checkered print little bow on it.
Yes. I thought this
And
is
so
all
what
Sam.
she's talking about is a Highland cow.
They're called Highland cows.
They're from
Bangs.
Scotland.
I call them emo cows because they always have the hair in front of their face, and I feel like they're always like, tonight will be the night it will fun for you. And then there's sunflowers, and sunflowers are my favorite flower. This is the cutest thing in the whole entire world.
I was very excited to find that, and I got 20% off with my American Cancer
Thank you.
Society card.
It actually smells really good.
Does it really? It just
Yeah.
looks like a store. Okay. So it's the holiday shopping card. It started October 27th. It ends October 27th for the shopping window of 20% off. Hundreds of Houston area participating retailers. I'm so happy that blanket makes you so
I
happy.
love this. Oh, it's like a ray of sunshine.
It is $75 to purchase the card. 100% of that goes right to the American Cancer Society. And that card now gives you the power to eat and shop for 20% off no matter what you're buying. Enjoy your blanket.
Thank you.
Hey, yo, for KRBE's Roula and Ryan show to tell you what's going down in H-Town.
Okay, big story last night. A helicopter crashed into a radio tower, killing 4 people, including a child, as it caught fire and plunged to the ground. Now, this happened around 7:45 last night off navigation. The tower stood about 1,000 feet high. Witnesses had watched the helicopter burst into a fireball as it crashed into the tower. It should take several days to clear all the debris from the area and to complete the investigation on the scene, which, by the way, is off limits to the public. Do not go seeking this out. Officials are requesting residents to be looking for fallen helicopter parts and, unfortunately, earmuffs here, human remains as well. So they're saying there could be people strewn
Right,
all
we got it.
across
We
the
understand
area.
what that means.
And they're saying, please do not touch. Call 911 immediately.
I mean, there were a lot of people on comments last
scene.
night that were saying they eyewitnessed that. And they were saying that happened
Yeah.
right in front of me, that happened right in front of me. And then other comments were saying, you should call the cops and tell them what you saw. Or you should be on the news and talk about what you saw. And they're like, nah, I got the heck out of there. Like the common thread was people who saw it happening in front of them got the heck out of there. So they weren't part of like an explosion.
Right, 'cause
Or
you
whatever
don't
it
know.
was.
Debris
It was so-
falling on
Yes,
you.
it was so traumatizing.
Well, it's on
My
all the
gosh.
different news websites. And then I like the Chronicle, the chron.com site, because they will do related stories next to it. And this story was right underneath this unfortunate tragedy. They say that Houston is the worst city in Texas when it comes to laser strikes, people with laser pointers. FAA describes anybody who has a handheld laser pointer who aims it at the cockpit. That is the problem that they have. Pilots have reported 265 laser strikes in Houston just since the beginning of the year. Green lasers account for more than 70% of the strikes. Green is generally considered to be more powerful than all the other colors when it comes to laser pointers because the human eye is more sensitive to green. And here's something to think about. If you're one of these idiots that's pointing, a laser pointer into the sky, potentially causing a crash, if you get caught doing this, 5 years in prison you could be facing and $250,000 fine. Please do not do this. Why would you want to do this? You're going to hurt somebody. That's what's going down in H-Town.
All right, coming up next, we're going to open the phone lines to you at 833-390-KRBE. The question is, what is your weird quirk? If you've listened to the show long enough, maybe you've heard what my weird quirk, I have a lot of them, but Eric points it out that you cannot, if you pat me on my left shoulder when you're walking by me, I will chase you down to pat me on my right.
Gotta make it
I'm like,
even.
you got to make it even. I went to go get a manicure, Sam, and the lady that was, applying the polish, they give you a little hand massage afterwards. She pulled on like 2 of my fingers in her, quote, massage and left the other 3 alone. And I go, hold on, wait. What are you doing?
You're like, can you please finish?
I go, can you please pull these? It was the weirdest thing to have the nail lady pull my fingers. But she didn't finish and it threw me off. I go, you need to do the whole thing. You have to complete the task. Like I can't. My weird quirk. And so we brought this up before and it's always fun because it shows you're not a weirdo and at least one other person out there listening probably has the weird quirk you do. So 833-390-KRBE. What is your weird quirk? We'll talk to you next on the Roula and Ryan Show.